Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well today, be it morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is where you are. Uh, we get to start with this spicy looking Ubon Philomeno by KNT. So I am looking forward to doing that. Uh, I should also mention, let's see, is there a voting list? Okay, I will read the voting list for you in a moment. Hey, Sirax, I hope you're doing well. Sirax was just recommending over in Scott's channel this puzzle I was talking about in the Discord. By the way, if you're not on the zetamath Discord, there's a bunch of cool stuff over there. But Sirax was talking about this puzzle uh, type that involves these sort of like 4 6x6 grids that are then linked to a sudoku grid, and I was solving some of them last night. That was interesting. Let's see, are we dropping frames? We are not dropping frames, according to OBS. But anyway, welcome to Sirax, who I originally met in the Scott Strossal Discord. Uh, oh no. Garion is also having weird buffering, even though we're not dropping any frames this time. Uh, I think this is a YouTube being weird instance, not a us dropping frames instance. But you know, there's all kinds of weirdness. Hey, Spool, welcome. I hope you are doing well. Sorry to Amy and Garion who are having issues with uh, YouTube being YouTube. Uh, there have been some discussions lately about trying to simultaneously stream to both YouTube and Twitch, which might have the number of people who have issues with these things. Uh, So we might attempt that at some point in the future. Uh, okay, so we've got all of that. What else did I want to say? Oh, I was also going to say for those of you who are on the zetamath exclusive Discord, so that's people who donate at any level. Uh, I have uh, I have been posting some 6x6s over to over to there that are sort of my 6x6s. As I've been making a bunch of sort of intro 6x6s for my Sudoku course that is upcoming. So if you want to see some of those and you're in there, you can do that. They should probably take you about 2 minutes each, give or take. Although this morning I was attempting to set a 6x6 arrow. And I could not understand why the thing I had was unique after I added a clue, so I'm going to have to go back and do other things. But that was what I was doing before this, was messing with more arrow puzzles. I do agree with chat that having two chats at the same time would be a challenge, uh, but I suspect that it would be a surmountable challenge that might amount to saying like everyone use YouTube chat, but then you can view the video on Twitch and maybe the video will be better or something. I don't know. I'm sure it would be a learning experience to try and figure out exactly what was happening. All right. Do remember there is a setting challenge going. The details about it are on the Discord. Tristan made a post today, started a thread, and I think Tristan clipped a video of it. That oh, Tristan is not doing it. Well, Tristan will clip a video of the challenge, but the short summary is that the challenge is to produce a puzzle that falls under the Sudoku with a twist sort of theme. So something where you change one of the normal rules of Sudoku a bit. So, for example, where you okay. So Sean points out there are features that actually let you handle that. Uh, but anyway, so you're encouraged to think about things like S cells or Japanese sums or things where you don't fill digits in all the cells or whatever. I'd encourage you for the challenge, although it's not strictly required. I would encourage you to find a new way to vary standard Sudoku rules. So rather than just sort of looking at old ones, I would encourage you to find new ways to change Sudoku rules. So that is the goal here. Uh, Unfortunately, YouTube is apparently being very difficult today. I am sorry to everyone. Some of the time it's on our end, although today it is not on our end. Today it is just YouTube being YouTube. All right, so we start as always with the puzzle with the most votes from supporters. By the way, welcome, Sean. I'm not sure if I've seen that name in chat before, but anyway, welcome, Sean. So today, the most voted on puzzle is this one. So this puzzle was voted on by the following supporters. It was voted for by Nordy, Paulfly, Luda, Josh, Zendari, Russ, Math Pesto, and David. So thank you so much for all of your support. And I hope I hope that you will enjoy this solve, although it sounds like the lag is being so weird that I have absolutely no idea what to do about it. I think the answer is that there's not really anything I can do about it. So let us try to understand what is going on here in KNT's puzzle. So this is a U-Bahn philomeno. So the U-Bahn part, let's start with the U-Bahn part, means I have to draw a loop network into this grid. A loop network could be something like this. There have to be no dead ends at all along the loop network. So that is what makes it a loop network. But it can branch, unlike loops in most puzzles. Yeah, for some people it's fine. So, and then for some people it's having issues. So I don't know if restarting the stream is going to help. I don't know. Kick YouTube maybe. Uh, yeah. Turn YouTube off and back on again. Not like you personally, but the person at YouTube needs to turn it off and then back on again, and then maybe it'll work. I don't know. So we'll have a loop network like this that we'll have to do. And now the clues outside here, they tell us in that row or column how many times that particular piece appears. So for example, a piece of this shape shows up one time in this column. And then in this row, we get a four-way twice. And then we get a corner twice. So that one actually is right. There actually is a corner twice. YouTube is too busy blocking ad blockers to fix stuff. That sounds about right. And so we've got all of these sort of outside clues. Note if no clue is given, it just means could be anything. So it's not, so no clue given doesn't mean zero. No clue given means it could be anything. This does use the sort of I'm given to understand none standard rule that you're allowed to have empty cells in your U-Bahn puzzle. So here is a sample puzzle that you can look at where you can see K&T has in the loop puzzle made the made it so that the loop is red, which is a oh yes, I have not gotten to watch the Crusader feature yet, but I am looking forward to watching the Crusader feature. I did just watch JC Gadar solve Emblem. JC Gadar also posts solves on their YouTube channel, so I enjoy that. Okay, so that is piece one. Piece one is the U-Bahn part, but as you can see in the sample image, there is also a philomeno part. And so the philomeno part is that we have to divide the entire grid into ominoes of various sizes. So you can see here, for example, this is a 4 omino. And those ominoes each contain the size of the omino, so they all contain 4s. For here, these all contain 3s. And so on. And the key here is that within each omino, all of the pieces have to be the same type of U-Bahn thing. So for example, in the 4, they're all 4 ways. In the 6, they're all turns, for example. All right. Is it the same between sizes? Let's see. So the question I'm asking is are all 3s the same? Because they are in the picture. It looks like they are, but I don't see that rule written anywhere. Do I have a counterexample in the grid? I do. 4s. It's funny. Almost all the pieces do actually have that, but not this one. So the 4-way here, this one has turns. There's this 4-way has 4 ways. I am very sorry, Gary, and I do not think there is anything I can do about it at the moment. I'm not sure if there's anything Tristan can do, but I don't think so, unfortunately. So those are the rules of the puzzle. So we can attempt the puzzle. Do note that there don't have to be pieces in every cell within an omino. So we can be cognizant of that as we work on it. Okay, so we can draw in some free omino borders because we know that these are not in the same omino. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably fine. Yeah, I'm looking around and convincing myself that the 7 might need to go somewhere, but I'm not quite sure what to do yet. Let's see. I probably have to do some sort of counting trick in... yeah, so someone is pointing out that this is a 9x9 grid. This is a 9x9 grid. Selena. Amazing. So the 2, 3, 4 here mean there is loop in every cell down here. Because 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 9. And unlike most U-bonds, this is a 9x9 as instead of a 10x10. So therefore, in particular, there's loop here. And as soon as there's loop here, the only valid loop it can look like is that. And the only valid loop this can look like is that. So we have that. So if I make that yellow, then I know that both of these are yellow. For whatever that is worth. And this, whatever it is, it's not 1, so it has to be yellow as well, because it's more than 1. And now this has to be a turn, but there's only 1 turn it can be, which means it's that. So we get that at the very least. Yeah, so if the 7 does not take this cell, then the cells the 7 can take would have to be all of these, but that would cut off the 4. So it's being pointed out that the 7 always takes this cell. If my number pad ever turns on, there we go. And so we get our 7 dance. Whoa! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. I don't think there's a straight line through row 9 because we've got 2 more turns to fit into row 9. Oh, and we are expressly told regions that touch don't have the same shape. Is that true? Let me see if that's in the rules. Adjacent regions contain differently shaped pieces, right? So this piece doesn't contain a corner. And so this piece always connects right. The only question is whether it also connects up. That we don't know. As of yet. So this is a different color, but I don't know what color it is yet. Let's see. We do need 3 total T's in this row. Interestingly, so if this is a T, this isn't. And if this is a straight line, this isn't. For whatever that is worth. Debating if I know anything else about what the 7 does. But I don't think I do. Oh, the 7 has to take this cell too. Yeah, the 7 does have to take that cell too. That's true. Because if the 7 didn't take that cell, we would end up with it taking these cells and it would still cut off the 4. So then that finishes the 2. Oops. Like that. If the 7 is turns, then we would get a mini loop here. That's really clever, right? So yeah, so the 7 can't take that cell. Because if the 7 does take that cell, then we're forced to get a mini loop. And then that mini loop doesn't escape. So that would be bad. So mini loop avoidance. It's not entirely true. Oh, because this cell's not a 7. Right. If this cell is a 7, that might be a problem. But it's not necessarily a problem if yeah, the 7, if the 7 went above there. But we don't know that the 7 takes this cell. I guess maybe what we know is if the 7 does take this cell, it can't take this cell for that reason. And if the 7 does take this cell, it doesn't take that cell. I think that's all true. Okay, so Micro is saying I can spin that deduction into saying that the 7 has to take this cell. Because if the 7 doesn't take this cell, now in order to get to 7 without cutting off the 4, it takes these. But that does create the mini loop that is a problem. So the 7 still has to take this cell. And so now the 7 definitely isn't turns. Because there are only 4 turns in the bottom row, and we already know about 2 of them. If the 7 were turns, that would be 5 of them. So the 7 now definitely is not taking that cell. Because of the ways that summing to 4 works. Oh, no, that's not true. Sorry, I'm cheating. Sorry, that's not true. Because remember, not every cell within a nomino needs to contain a piece of the U-bond network. So it could still be that 7 is turns and these 7s just aren't visited. Oh, no. It is true because in row 9 specifically, every cell is visited by the loop because of the fact that these numbers sum to 9. Right. Right. So it is true. The 7 doesn't take that cell. Okay. So that means that the 7 is not loop, and so the only ways to be, are not turns. So the only way for the 7s to be not turns is for it to go straight through all of them like that. And now, right, now it also can't branch, as Isabella points out, because if it branched, there would be 3 branches, and that's not allowed. So in fact, the 7s in this row are definitely my straight edges. And so therefore the 7 needs to stop. And so because if the 7 kept going, I'd have 4 blues in the row, and I can't have 4 blues in the row. Oh yeah, we're retracting the retractions right away. So now the 7 is just completely forced to go into all of these cells and finish. So we get all of those. So we've got that. Okay, so now the 1 here has to be a branch, as Acid Helm says, because the Acid Helm, because this 1 can't be straight anymore because we already have our straights. I'm going to go ahead and just click that blue just to say we've got all of our straights. So now this must be, let's use purple. For our intersection-y bits. So this is purple here. And so keep in mind, this can't be purple and it can't be blue. So it must also be yellow because of the row. All the blues in the row are spent. And I can't put purple next to purple. So this is a yellow, and that means it turns like that. However, it is so inclined to do. Now, MicroStudy makes a very good point, which is that this 7 piece, I have to sort of continue going that way because all of them have to go and do their thing. Let's see. Right. MicroStudy's point is this can't be the purple in row 9, because if this was a purple, it would... boy, I really cannot think of an appropriate word. But if this were a purple, it would do untoward things to this. So this is the purple. And so that's the last purple for the row. And so therefore this is the last yellow for the row. And so so if that's true, this does that. Oops, this does that. That does that. And so we have all of that going on. Yeah, so this cell is unvisitable. I think people are wanting me to put an X in it. This 4 grows up to be there, except I put a 7 in it just to make it extra fun. Let's see. Okay, and we know there are two 4-ways in this row. So can't, no, it could be that one. 4 is congruent to 7 mod 3, which tells you exactly how I accidentally hit 7 instead of 4, because it's one row off on the number pad. Oh, column 8 only has one straight line, so there are no more straight lines in column 8, Emily points out. That is very smart. Let's see. Okay, so the 2s can't be 4-way intersections because I would need to have 2 of them, and it would break this cell that's not allowed to be visited because of that. So these 2s are not 4-ways, and they're not blue. So therefore, these can only be yellow or purple. Do I know which it is of yellow or purple? Yes, because it can't be a 3-way either. Because do I know that every omino is even visited? Because I worry that I'm again going to get into this thing where I'm assuming that that the cell is visited, but maybe it's not. But is every omino visited at least once? No region may be fully empty. Yes. So if this is visited by a 3-way, this is visited by a 3-way, but this cell's not visited by a 3-way. And so therefore this is not 3-way intersections. And so it's not purple, it's yellow. Okay. I can draw in this. I see that I spent a really long time convincing myself of a point that Jay Dyer articulated in half a sentence like 10 minutes ago, but I convinced myself eventually. If 4 doesn't take row 6, column 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's a problem. Let's see. Okay, so right. Okay, so Josh has a Philomeno point, which is that how is this 4 going to grow? And the answer is it could take this cell, but if it does take this cell, it can't take either of those because of the fact that that would create a 5-cell 4-omino. And so even if it does take this cell, it still takes this cell, which means the 3 takes this cell. Good spotting to Josh there on that. Now, the 4 certainly doesn't take this cell, and that 4 doesn't take that cell either. So we get all of that. Okay, so these 4 certainly aren't 4-way intersections, and they're not blue. So if this is not 4-way intersection and it's not blue, that means that these are also yellow or purple. So, is there a way that I can articulate? Maybe I can't quite yet articulate whether it is yellow or purple that it actually is. I'm not sure. Okay. This cell I know is always visited by the loop is dweb's point because uh, even if say this cell was visited, it would force that cell to be visited. So this cell is always a corner, and being always a corner means it always connects up, regardless of what else happens, and then it could also connect that way or also connect that way, which Jay Dyer is also helping to fill in some of that logic. Let's see. So, right. And so Josh is having a similar observation about the 3. The 3 is not a straight line, and so it doesn't go only up. And so it has to go somewhere, but it can't go only up, and so therefore it must go that way. No matter what else happens. So this and so this 3 is also either yellow or purple. We're probably going to have some elaborate yellow-purple chain. I don't mean chain in the Sudoku sense. I mean, we're going to have a string of yellow purples that touch each other, and then it's going to sort of force a coloring via some sort of German whispers trick, is my prediction as to where this is going, because we have so many things that have to be yellow or purple. Just had to word it in a way to get Zeta to notice it. Yes, it might still go up. Yes. Okay. There is one more straight line in this column somewhere, and it's not there. So one of these is a straight line. But yeah, this 3 is next to a yellow 2, but this 3 I think could be 4-way intersections. Oh boy, do I not relish the idea of proving that it's not 4-way intersections. But it's not corners. So it doesn't only go left or right, but and maybe it's easy to see that if I fill in this as 4 ways that it breaks. This is certainly a this is a job for the bifurcation palette. If the 3 is 4 ways, it looks like this, but I don't see a problem with that just from there. Okay, we know that this is purple, but it could be a 1 purple. We know there are 2 4 ways in this row. Can I do anything with the 2 4 ways in this row? The different 3s can't be the same, or don't have to be the same, Jim. If I understand what you're saying, 2 different 3 ominoes don't have to be the same. See, there are 5 blues in this row, and none of those are blue. So of these 6 cells, all but one of them is blue. No, all but 2 of them are blue. Because there's already 1 blue. So yeah, there's a lot of blue in this row for whatever I can make use of from that. Let's see. Microstudy also missed the 7. There's an 8 here, which is just going to point out 8 as a big number. I'm going to take a real quick break. I'll be back in just a second. All right, sorry about that. I am back. Okay, so column 8 has 3 crisscrossies. Microstudy is pointing out. So isn't that like 3 of these 4 have to be crisscrossies? Because none of the others can be crisscrossies, right? Yeah, 3 of these 4 are crisscrossies. And so any 3 of the 4 of them that it is, I think Microstudy's point is that I get all of those. Is that right? No matter which of these 3 is a crisscrossy, I have to have these. Because if it's that one that's not a crisscrossy, then the other 3 are. Yeah, Amy, unfortunately, we are in a position where if you just look at the YouTube streaming overall is going bonkers. So the buffering definitely isn't something we can do anything about because it's happening to all YouTube at the moment, as it so often does, it seems. Okay, and then this. It's not a straight line and it's not a 4-way. So this is purple or yellow, just for the... Oh, no, sorry, I don't know this, because I don't know if this is a thing at all. Yeah, we might just have to cancel stream after this if YouTube is not behaving itself. Because, yeah, I don't know what we can do. It's not terrible, but it's not good. Fair. Okay, and so I don't necessarily know that all of the 3 4-ways are the same, are part of the same omino, because I could split them like that, right? In principle. But okay, I'm figuring out what to do with Isabella's point. So Isabella's point is I need another straight in this column. It's got to be in one of these 3 cells. And so if I look at the 3 crosses, the 3 crosses take up 3 of these 4 cells, just because every cross is going to enter into that cell. And then the other one is straight. And so that means a couple things. So one is it means all of these cells are in fact visited by the loop. But the other is, as Microstudy points out, this 3 needs a cross next to it. Because if this 3 doesn't have a cross next to it, it would have to have a straight line by Isabella's argument. But it visibly doesn't have a straight line. So therefore, this is a cross. So this can be green for our crosses. It makes sense since the loop is green and cross is the maximal amount of green that we can do that. Okay, so that finishes our 4, which finishes our 3, like that. So this is still, oops, not orange, yellow, purple. The 3 is not a cross either. Is good point. So the 3 needs to grow up at least to here. So this is yellow or purple. Now remember, this is either, okay, so this cell is not a straight line. So therefore, because it's not a straight line, it definitely has a cross going through it. Which makes that green as well. And so it's not a cross, so that means the 3 goes here, finishes, yellow, purple. And again, this is not a straight line. And so again, we get cross here, which makes this green. Okay, and so now this has to be a straight line now. So this thing is now blue. Whatever else happens. So now this is a corner for sure, just because of loop logic, not any other reason. So this is yellow. And so as MicroStudy points out, now this 3 has to connect somewhere. And wherever it connects, it makes 3 T's. And if 3 is a it makes 3 T's is a funny way to say it because you can parse that in 2 different ways, and both of them are correct. But whichever way I do this, it makes one of these 2 3s into a T, which means they're all T's. And when they're all T's, that means it looks like this, which means that these are in fact purple and not yellow. Okay, so this is a very cool puzzle, by the way. Well done to KNT. I am sorry no one is actually ever going to see this because we're currently buffering at 1,000 buffers per second or something. So let's see. Yes, blue doesn't grow because if blue grows, will the VOD actually work or will the VOD have buffering too? Oh, the VOD won't buffer. Okay, so some people will be able to see this later. Okay, cool. And MicroStudy is here, which matters. Column 8 has straight already. Right. There's only one blue in the whole column, so this cell isn't blue. Is MicroStudy's point. And it's not green either, because this is blue. And so this is a whole new color. I mean, it's not a whole new color, but it's either got to be yellow or purple are the only options. Can this really be purple even? I think it can. So this is another of these yellow-purple businesses. But this is a 1. And so in particular, because this is a 1, this yellow grows. And so this yellow is a corner, so it's going to come this way. Okay, and so now this just has to be a T because of that. Because this is not a turn, so it's not yellow. So it is purple, but purple is T's, which means that this grows this way because it can't go back here without breaking that. Okay, now purple has to grow because it's next to a monomino. Monomino. Boop, 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 monomino. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. This musical interlude is now over. So we get that. Yeah, the VOD might be buffering now because YouTube is shitting a brick for whatever reason, just holistically. Green doesn't take the 4. I am being told. If green did take the 4, I'm not quite sure I immediately see why green doesn't take the 4. Oh, by Philomeno. Yes, sorry. I'm here trying to imagining, like, oh, that would make this into something that would be at least a corner, but could it be a 3-way? It couldn't be a 4-way, so it'd have to be a 3-way, and I'm imagining... But no, the point is if green takes the 4, then a 4 touches a 4. Thank you, chat. Much appreciated. That was going to take my brain a long time to fill in, I will admit. Okay, so, yes, so nothing to do with Yuban, as D-Web says. So yeah, so green is at least 5. Is it possible green only escapes out the top? No, because of this 2 microstudy has spotted. So at most 1 more green is over here, and so this cell's also green, because of that. Because again, green is at least 5 in size. Because of that too. This is so fantastic. I just have to reiterate. This is definitely my favorite KNT puzzle of the year so far. Although I know KNT has been publishing a lot fewer puzzles this year. Also, KNT publishes a lot of puzzles that are too hard for me to do on stream. So a lot of their puzzles are sort of outside, but this is phenomenal. Do I know anything about what this 4 does that's interesting? So the 4 is not a 4-way. So Isabella now claims the 4 is yellow. Oh, no. Isabella's talking about the other 4. Isabella's talking about this 4. Yeah, this is another, it's yellow or purple. Because all cells in the grid will eventually be yellow-purple. I think Isabella's telling me this can't be purple anymore. Yeah, I think I can see it, because if this was purple, it would do the following. And now this just doesn't work because there's not 3 directions it can go. So I only have to draw the tiniest bit in the bifurcation palette for me to be able to see it. It's more than I can see in my head, but I don't have to do very far to see that this can't be purple. So this is now yellow, which means that this cell now has to turn that way. And this now just has to not be visited because there aren't 2 ways it could go. And so this is now this 3. Well, it's definitely super not yellow. I think it could be blue. Maybe it could be purple. I don't think it can be green, but who knows? Maybe it can even be green. Would make me very unhappy if it was green. No, it can't be green, at least. If it were green, then this would be a 4-way, and it can't be. Because that would force this to be something. Okay, so it's not green, and it's not yellow. So this is purple or blue. Okay. If green doesn't grow up, then that means that... Or sorry, if this loop doesn't grow up, it means it has to do that way, which makes this into T's, which just breaks immediately, right? So if this loop segment doesn't continue upward, then it has to continue left or right, but then it has to continue left and right. And then that breaks because now I can't make this into a 3-way. or a branch in the lingo for the professionals. And so the point of all of this is just that this goes up for sure. And now the 4, remember, is turn, so that turns that way. Okay, so now this cell is no longer green because this is a turn and it's done. So my green doesn't grow that way, so my green does grow this way, and it finishes and is a 5. So wabam, enjoy your pile of 5s, and enjoy this extra little bit of plussiness. And enjoy this 4 growing here. And 4 is not yellow because it already has too many things. So this 4 is purple. So this 4 is also purple. So we've got that. So yeah, so this is a T. Oh, this 4 doesn't grow down because it would touch another 4 phenomenologically, and we don't want that. Yeah, I think this can still be purple. Yeah, that's right. Casey gets the green 5. Yeah, Casey is the green 5 enthusiast, and Casey got the most surprising green 5, I think, of all of Puzzledom. Beautiful. Microstudy points out this cell's a naked blue because it's not purple, green, or yellow. And so if it is a naked blue, then the loop just continues through. Bye, Amy. Yeah, sorry YouTube is having YouTube issues today. I am not thrilled about it, but I don't think I can make YouTube change. Unfortunately. Yeah, it's probably regional would be the inference that I would have as well. I don't think I know if this grows, but now I'm trying to look for clues because I still have my 4 of these 5 have to be blue business. I still need some more blues. Yeah, there could be 2 branches facing each other is the thing, or even like a branch going this way and then a branch going that way, I think would even be fine. Right. So microstudy is saying this 4, if it were part of anything, then it would need to be a branch going this way, but it can't be. So this is in fact unvisited. And now that that's unvisited, now if this is purple, it would look like that. It's probably okay. Let's see. That's very cute. So Josh points out this cell, whatever digit it is, it's at least 4, because it's either part of this purple, in which case then it's not 2 or 3, or it's not part of the purple, in which case it's not 1, 2, or 3. So this cell's always large, which means these 2 are always in the same omino. Which means they're the same color. What could that color be? Well, it's not yellow for sure. Could that color be purple? I think so. I mean, I guess in particular, that means this cell is not yellow, right? This omino does not take that cell because these are in the same omino, and that omino is not yellow. That is one consequence of Josh's point. These 2 are the same color. So they're either purple or they aren't. Or sorry, they're either green or they're not, says microstudy. By the way, I should, by my, if I'm keeping my notation, which I committed to, earlier. These two are the same, so they're either both green or they're not. And so if they are both green, there's a border here. And if they're not both green, then these are both green and there's a border here. So there's always a border here, is a weird but true statement. Let's see, Isabella says, hey, ELSF, YouTube is having absolute nightmares today with working, so I hope your connection is going better than the typical user. Row 7, column 7. Can't have loop because it can't go up or left, and if it can't go up or left, it can't be blue or purple. So nothing there. Now this is unvisited as well. And so now we know which way this turns. So this now turns that way. And this now, this is purple or green, which I guess I maybe already knew. Just because it can't be yellow anymore. And so this is also purple or green for the same reason, because again, these are the same. Okay, and if it's purple or green, do I know anything about it? Maybe not. Josh points out I know either these two are crosses or these two are crosses, and whichever is true, there's always a segment connecting these two. I agree with that. I endorse this message. Okay, Jim says if the 3 was blue, the cell above it couldn't be. And so this would be neither blue nor yellow, so it would have to be green or purple. I don't see why this being green or purple is a problem, though. Oh, right. The point is the 5 here. Because as soon as this isn't blue, all of these are blue. And that's a problem because these can't all be blue. Okay, so here's a different articulation of the same statement. Not all of these 4 are blue, because if they were all blue, it would break the 3. However, 4 of these 5 are blue. Not all of these 4 are blue. Therefore, this one is always blue. There is Jim's point articulated in a slightly different way. And as soon as this is blue, it means this isn't blue. And as soon as that is purple, it means these aren't purple. And so these are now green, which means we get that. And Isabella points out that this is a 1. The Shame Amino. This is also a 1 of Shame Amino over here. Yep, we've got Shame Aminos all over the place. So now, remember, this is at least 4. So green certainly grows here. So this is always Crissy-Crossy as well. And remember, this is supposed to be a T now. So that's a T, that's a T. Oh, this is blue, by the way. This being blue actually does tell me something. This being blue tells me that it does that, for the record. Okay, so this cell is not purple or green. So this cell... Oh, and it's not blue either. So this cell, oh no, you're right. So this cell is not green by the row clue. It's not purple because it touches a purple. So, and it's not blue because it doesn't have the, it's not a line. So this is only yellow. I think this is a naked yellow. This cell could just be purple, I think. I am unsure, but oh, right. This is not blue. It's being pointed out. And therefore, remember, because I need 5 blues, all of these are blue, which means that's my exact 3 omino. Boop-a-doop. Like that, because they're all blue. And now this one, it's a straight line, but it doesn't go that way. So it certainly goes... Oh, right, sorry. No, I do know, because I actually need... it's not that I have 5 blues in the row. It's that I have 5 of these in the row. And so they all do that, is what chat is telling me, and I am slowly piecing together exactly what is happening in my life. So we get that. This must turn this way, because if it doesn't turn that way, then it only goes down and it's a blue touching a blue across a border. So it always goes that way, whether it is yellow or not. And the same is true of this, that it always connects that way regardless. Okay, there are 3 total blues now in this row. Oh, the 5 clue is done. That's true. We can blue the 5. And I know, so therefore I know this doesn't grow this way, is another thing that I know. This can't be green, actually, because if it were green, it would cross that boundary, and it's not allowed to. So my green, in fact, now can only grow here. Because my green, remember, had to grow because it couldn't be 1, 2, or 3. So that forces all of that. Which now means this cell is not yellow. It's not yellow from that side either. This cell isn't yellow. And so this cell's also not green because of the yellow. So we get that. And so this is assuredly purple. That's assuredly purple. This is just a purple 1. This is a green 4. Sorry, Casey. And so this can't become a cross because then it would break the yellow. So if this can't be a cross because it would break the yellow, then it's not purple either, which means it is yellow. And so we can fill in our digits. These are 4s. That's a 1. This cell is yellow or purple. Sure. Oh, I didn't fill in my 2s. That is correct. I did not fill in my 2s. Okay, I need 3 straights here. Those aren't it. So 2 of these 3 are straight. Oh, and it's not that one, because that would be a blue touching a blue. Right. I need 3 blues in this row. None of those are blue. So therefore, these are blue, is the clean way to phrase this. And blue can't go bluing with blue. So it doesn't grow in either of those directions. And so this is a 1, regardless of what it turns out to be with its life. Now, because this is a blue, we know what it does, which is to extend over that way. This can't grow either way, so this is a yellow Shamamino. Now, this can't be of size 4, so it has to grow. because it touches a 4 is my only reason why that is true. Oh, it also touches a 5, so it's actually at least 6. So it's probably the 8. I'm going to guess we're going to get to the 8. Because we touch 4, 5, and we need to get an 8 in here somewhere. So probably should try and get that out of the way sooner rather than later. Oh, our yellows in this column are done. That's worth noting. So there's only one yellow in this column. So this is not yellow. So this can only be purple or green for what it is worth. Our blues in this row are done. Let's see. This column has okay. This column has 3 purples in it, and we don't have any purples yet. Is an interesting observation. Okay, here's a really stupid point. These can't all be purple. Because if these are all purple, it breaks this purple's ability to grow and become 4. Because it makes those 2 poison, but then also makes it so that if this grows up, it takes those purples and becomes a 6. So if these aren't all purple, that's always purple. And looks like that. Now, my question is, can I even say these aren't both purple, actually? Because if these are both purple, this purple still doesn't get to 4. So these can't both be purple, so that's always purple in order to make that work. That is the one confusing thing about this puzzle, is the keeping track of, like, is this color versus is actually visited is a little bit weird. I feel like this rule set would be a little more natural, albeit I think it would screw over a lot of the logic, but it would feel a little more natural if you had to visit every cell like in traditional Ubon puzzles. Just because of the, like, accounting of how, like, this doesn't mean there's 3 blues in the row. It means there's 3 straight lines in the row. There could be more blues in the row. That part sort of my brain has trouble doing counting for. Okay. Blue always takes row 4, column 4, because if it doesn't, right. Because if blue doesn't take this cell, then blue takes this cell, and in fact, it's just blue can't take this cell, right? There's no blue just outright can't take this cell is, I guess, the easiest way for me to phrase that point. Because if blue took this cell, it couldn't be horizontal or vertical. Oh, no, sorry. I'm doing exactly the thing I'm just saying I shouldn't do. Blue can take the cell, but the cell can't contain a line is okay. Because so this cell, if it's blue, it's unvisited. Okay. Okay, here's an even dumber point than the one I was doing before. This cell just can't be purple. Because if this cell is purple, then this purple does this, and now this blue can't get to be bigger than 5. So that cell's not the one that's purple. This is the one that's purple, and our purples for the column are done. Although I have to be careful because this cell can't be purple now because of I just argued it's not actually purple. But that purple now only has 2 cells it can possibly purple into. So that's my 4. MicroStudy claims that the way I did is not the most natural way to have done this, which I 100% believe it was not the most natural way. But I could not quite follow what happened if I made this blue directly. Oh no, poor Paul Fly. Okay, so now this cell is not blue. So we go there. This cell just has to be unvisited. Because if it were visited... Oh, no, sorry. Let me do this one first. This is a three-way that doesn't take that cell, so it always takes those two. This cell is unvisited now, because if it were visited, it would wreck this being a straight line. This cell now can't be a straight line going in either direction. This cell now can't... Oh, no, sorry. This cell could be a straight line going vertically. If I am careful. This, whatever it is, certainly doesn't take this cell anymore. Right. This pink doesn't grow that way, is a good spot. Let's see. I've got my two greens in this row already. Right. This has to be a T, MicroStudy points out. And so the only T it can be is that one. This two's also done. Good. So now this cell has to be blue, MicroStudy is claiming, because if it wasn't blue, it would have to connect up, but that would make it purple, which is just not allowed. I do still need a yellow somewhere over here for whatever limited amount that is worth. This T can do something. Let's see. This... Oh, no. This cell can be blue if that is also blue. Sorry, if this is purple. I meant to say if this is purple. So there's two yellows here. Is the claim that 8 obviously can't be yellow because... Yes. 8 can't be yellow because in column 2, I could have 1 yellow. And then in this column, I could have 5 yellows. And then in this column, I think it just barely can. Oh, column 2 has a yellow. Sorry, column 2 does have a yellow. Right. Sorry, that's what the yellow means. So actually, this 8 can't possibly be yellow, because if the 8 were yellow, I'd have to fit 8 cells in here. Oh, no, it can have empty yellows. Oh, gosh darn it. Yeah, you're right. It can have empty yellows. Yeah, it's the same thing that I keep screwing up. Oh, right. Okay, so the point is... Okay, now I understand. So the point is, this cell is not an L, but there are two L's in this row. So therefore, both of these are L's, which means they are yellow. There we go. That is what chat was seeing, that I was sort of not... I was trying to piece together something that involved Philomeno or involved Ubon, but in this instance, it involved neither Philomeno nor Ubon. It involved counting. So we get that. So that does finish. So this has to be an actual corner, because otherwise I'm not going to get out of here alive. And so this is no longer yellow because that means it's visited, right? So Paul Fly says, basically leaping off of my point, because this now says this is visited, it's not yellow. And so therefore my yellow 8 grows up to here. Coming over like that. Uh, the 8 can't possibly take this cell because there's no way this cell is a corner. Right? If this cell were a corner, it would need to look like that. But now, nope, can't quite prove it in my head yet. I believe it, I think, but it's not quite there yet. This T needs to grow one way or the other. But I don't know which way. Okay, so MicroStudies pointing out this, just by looking at it, it's not green by the row clue. It's not yellow because it touches a yellow. And if it were blue, it would break the 8 immediately. So it's not blue. So this is, in fact, purple. And thus, it needs to do that. Okay, so this can't be blue anymore because blue is straight lines. And so this can't be a straight line. So my blue is done. And blue is 6. And this can't be a straight line either, so this is just unvisited. Wait, did I just say nonsense? Why could that not be a straight line? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why. I have no particular reason why it cannot be. I will admit. Let's see. Yeah, I've got the row 3, column 2 as purple. I do still believe that. Let's see. Isabella says the 8 can't take this cell. Right, because if the 8 takes this cell, it will be a second yellow with loop in it. So therefore the 8 does not take that cell. So the 8 does take this cell and this cell, doesn't take that cell, does take this cell and this cell and this cell, at least. So that is going to give me some of these. And I know this cell's unvisited because it would be a second turn there. So this cell's unvisited because it would be a corner. So we've got at least that much. This now, we know what it does. It has to turn like that. Why couldn't row 4, column 2 be a straight line? Oh, I reversed that conclusion. I was compelled by chat telling me that did not work. Okay, I do need 2 actual yellows in this row. But I don't know where they go. Oh, that is 8. Sorry, in my brain I thought that was 7. Okay, it's a lot easier when that's 8 than when it was 7, and I needed to decide whether it took that cell or that cell. But I did not, in fact, need to decide whether it took that cell or that cell. So this cell is purple for sure because it can't be yellow. So it grows up. This is a corner, so it turns there. This is a corner, so it turns there. This is a corner, so it turns there. So we've got all of that at least. This is not a corner, so it has to be a T. So it has to be purple, and the only way it purples is that way. And now this needs to go that way, which now means that goes through that way. So this now can't grow any further, though, because, and I believe I'm correct this time, that can't be a straight line, although correct me if I'm wrong. It can't be yellow either, so it has to be a T, looking like that, making this purple. So my question is, can all of this be purple, or can these two be green? Maybe to finish that, maybe I have to finish this part over here first, because this has to grow that way in order to make it actually a T. This is not purple. Oh, I've got my 2 yellows, so my 2 yellows are done. Okay, so this is not yellow. Or, okay, so this is not yellow. It could be blue. Oh, ha ha ha. This can't all be purple because it would be a 6. That's adorable. Okay, so I was thinking in my brain, I was like, I don't see why there aren't 2 solutions, so I must be missing something. It's probably resolved by one of these clues, but it's not. The 2 solutions I was seeing, one of them involves a 6 omino touching a 6 omino. And so if there's not going to be a 6 omino touching a 6 omino, then I need this to not be purple, because if this is purple, so is that. So this is not purple. It's the only other thing it can be, which is green, which then means it connects over. Which then means this is also green. Well, I assumed the second solution was going to be sorted out by this clue that I haven't used, but like I didn't think the puzzle was actually going to have 2 solutions. I just thought I didn't have the information yet to resolve which thing it was, but I did in fact have the information. It was about 6s touching 6s. Let's see. I mean, it's still a miracle that that vignettes didn't have multiple solutions, given the error I made when setting it. It was just sheer happenstance. Although then it was amazing how many people it took. It was actually KNT actually that pointed out the error to me in vignettes. Okay, so these aren't yellow is the thing that I need to keep in mind. So this doesn't go only that way, is the point. If this went only that way, it would be yellow. So it also always goes up at the very least. Purple can't extend up into row 1, column 7. Right. If this purple tries to grow here, Emily points out, I don't have 3 ways for it to go because it would break yellow in so doing. So what I'm saying is the opposite of that. What I'm saying is the purple doesn't go. Wait, could the purple grow up if there was no loop there? Maybe the purple could grow up if there was no loop there. Because one of purple and yellow has to take this cell. Because if neither purple nor yellow took it, I'd have two dominoes kissing. If this is a nothing, that's yellow, but that's probably okay. So if blue grows here, this goes straight, which then forces this to be a four-way, which then forces that to be my other three-way. But I don't see the problem with that out of hand. Let's see. This is, I guess, purple or yellow for sure. This is also purple or yellow for sure. Just for the record. Oh, maybe it could even be blue, right? Okay, I think Microstate's right. I think this could even be blue. I think this is probably a Philomeno thing I need to be careful to avoid. Because I think this is probably if I make this a certain size, it's impossible not to have two ominoes of the same size touching problem. So if blue grows up, okay, so the first claim is if blue grows up, it can't extend. So it certainly couldn't extend right. What? Oh, right, and it can't grow up twice, because if it grew up twice, then it would be two triominoes touching. So if blue grows up once, it finishes. Okay, I'm trying to look at the more elegant one. This has to go right because of the row clue. Can't it go both up and down? No, it can't go down, right? This, if, right, so yeah, so this needs to grow somewhere. It can't grow down, and it can't only grow up. So therefore, it always grows over there. Which makes this, yeah, I kept almost using the line Xing tool, and then I kept not using it because I got confused about what I knew and didn't know based on whether something had to be visited or not. So now this can't be purple, so it must be green, which means that is now done, which means that this can't be visited anymore, because if this was visited, it would then be forced to enter this cell, which it's no longer allowed to. So here now, if it can't go that way, it must go that way. Which means this is definitely yellow now. Oh, oops. Sorry, that border was the wrong color. I'm sorry to all of you who had to see that. Right. If green grew here, it would break this blue, so it doesn't. So the green is a shamamino of green. Kind of looks to me. Oh, that's right. Blue can't go up too much. Because if blue went up too much, I'd have a 3 touching a 3 still. I still have that problem. So this is... Oh, is it just that this can't be blue? No, I think I could have 3 blue ones and then have this be purple. No, I can't. So the point is this can't be blue. I'm trying to find the elegant way to articulate it. So if this is blue, it has to be a 1, which would make all of these blue 1s, which would make this... Sorry, it would make those 2 blue 1s, which would mean this would have to be purple, but it would break either of the blues if it worked. So this is not blue, is the sort of look ahead that I have uncovered. So therefore, this is going to be a T. So therefore, this is a break. So this is therefore a 1. Okay, and so this is not a 1, so it can only be purple. So this is a 5. This can't be a 1 anymore, so therefore that must be yellow, and that now finishes our puzzle, I believe, if I get rid of the X's. Boop, 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 boop. Because now this is a 2, and these are 4s. Although the fact that solution check did not trigger makes me concerned we did something wrong. But excellent, excellent puzzle. I really enjoyed that one. That is a very cool puzzle. This is certainly my favorite Ubon adjacent. Funnily enough, this is either my favorite Ubon puzzle or my second favorite Ubon puzzle, but the other one that is in the running is also a KNT puzzle, because KNT's Ubon Japanese sums puzzle was one of my favorites from last year. Yes, do please like the stream to tell YouTube that you would like them to give us more bits so that we can stream without buffering. That would be this. Yeah, the Ubon part here was very palatable. Is a good way to put it. Yes, there were no gross Ubon deductions at any point in this, and I really liked the way the pieces here fit together. Like this is like my ideal kind of hybrid, where it's sort of like not super hard on either. And the thing that makes it cool isn't that any deductions are individually super hard. It's that you keep having different ways of seeing an interaction between 2 rules that works. And that was very cool. Also, I'm going to guess the ridiculous thing that I kept seeing over here wasn't intended, but maybe it was. I don't know. But I don't know. I saw it, so I used it. Because it wasn't... It's natural enough, I guess, when you know that all but one of the cells are one color, to look at different combinations and see if those combinations are actually possible. But I'm going to guess probably most people did not use that deduction. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to take a break, check with Tristan how the internet is going, and then either continue or not based on whether YouTube is actually plausibly working or not. But I will let you know either way. But anyway, I will be right back or not. We'll let you know. Okay, well, I went and talked to Tristan, and Tristan thinks we should end the stream for now because there's so much stuff going on, and so Tristan is watching these little graphs go by of how many reported errors there are with YouTube in various places. Uh, and apparently it is getting worse rather than better on a global level. So we're going to at least take a break. We might stream later if the internet is better. We will keep you posted on the Discord if we do decide to hop back. But I don't want to torture you all by making you watch a buffering Zeta. So I'm going to end stream for now, but we'll be back at the very least. Tristan will be back on Tuesday, and I'll be back on Friday. But yes, sorry about this, but alas, we do not control the YouTube infrastructure. If we did, there'd be a lot more recommendations for zetamath videos floating around. But anyway, please do like the stream. If you have not yet, it does help. And we'll be back soon. Yes, MicroStudy. I enjoyed doing this with the few of you with MicroStudy and the other of you who, for whatever reason, YouTube was nice to. All right, but that's going to be it for now. And I'll be back at some point later today or on Friday at the latest. So bye for now.